85 horsepower. Today, that is exactly the amount of power you get in a mid-sized riding lawnmower, or maybe a heavily caffeinated golf cart. But back in 1939, 85 horsepower was enough pure, unadulterated American grunt to haul a literal ton of potatoes, pull a stump out of the ground, and look absolutely dashing while doing it. If you love classic iron that has more personality in its lug nuts than most modern cars have in their entire chassis, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit the like, and buckle in. Today we are taking a hilarious, oil-stained journey back in time to look at the legendary 1939 Ford pickup, a truck that proves you don't need heated massage seats to be a total boss on the road. Let us step back into the late 1930s. The Great Depression was finally loosening its grip, people were getting back on their feet, and Henry Ford was sitting in his office probably thinking, you know what, just because a guy is hauling manure doesn't mean he shouldn't look like $1 million doing it. Prior to this era, trucks were strictly utilitarian. They were farm implements with wheels. They looked like motorized bread boxes. But 1939 was the magic year where Ford decided to bring passenger car styling over to the heavy lifters. Take one look at the front of a 39 Ford pickup and you are staring at a piece of rolling art. It features the famous barrel-shaped grille. It is wide, it is rounded, and it looks like it's smiling at you right before it asks you to chop some firewood. The fenders are gloriously swooky, hugging the tires like they're trying to keep them warm. Then you have those teardrop headlights, integrated right into the fenders instead of awkwardly perched on top of the bumper like buggy lamps. Modern trucks today look like angry, futuristic electric shavers that want to fight you in a parking lot. The 39 Ford doesn't look angry, it looks elegantly determined, like a gentleman boxer from the 20s with a waxed mustache who will absolutely knock you out, but will apologize and offer you a handkerchief afterward. But the real magic of this beautiful metal beast was hiding under that aggressively long, stylish hood. I'm talking, of course, about the legendary Ford Flathead V8. Now, if you're not a car nerd, let me explain the Flathead V8 in simple terms. It was the engine that taught America how to speed. Before the Flathead, if you wanted 8 cylinders, you had to be a movie star, a banking tycoon, or a wildly successful bootlegger. Henry Ford brought the V8 to the masses. The 1939 truck featured the 221 cubic inch version of this motor, cranking out that aforementioned 85 horsepower. Now, I know what you're thinking. 85 horsepower sounds like a joke today, but the secret sauce was the torque. This engine could pull a house off its foundation. It sounded like a symphony of perfectly synchronized mechanical sewing machines. It had a deep, throaty burble that immediately put chest hair on anyone standing within a 20-foot radius. Of course, the Flathead was not without its quirks. It had the water pumps integrated directly into the block, and the exhaust routed right through the engine coolant passages. This meant the engine ran incredibly hot. It didn't just burn fuel, it practically boiled its own coolant just thinking about a steep hill in the summer. Driving a 39 Ford up a mountain was less of a road trip and more of an extreme sport where your primary opponent was the temperature gauge. Now let us step back into the interior, and I'm using the word interior in the loosest, most generous sense of the word. When you open the door of a modern F-150, you are greeted by touchscreens, climate control, leather upholstery, and 14 cup holders. When you open the door of a 1939 Ford pickup, you are greeted by painted metal, a steering wheel, and a bench seat that feels like it was stuffed with recycled horsehair and bad decisions. Ergonomics. Henry Ford had never heard of her. The dashboard was made of solid steel, painted to match the exterior, and completely devoid of padding. Safety features included a rudimentary hydraulic braking system, a piece of glass you looked out of, and praying. That was it. If you got into a fender bender, you didn't have airbags to save you. You had your own reflexes and the structural integrity of your rib cage. The steering wheel was the size of a deep-dish pizza pan. Why? Because power steering was just a myth in 1939. Your power steering was your own biceps. Parallel parking this truck required the upper body strength of an Olympic wrestler. And let's not forget the climate control. Air conditioning consisted of rolling down the window and driving faster. If you wanted the heater, you just waited for the Flathead V8 to do its thing and radiate pure, uninsulated thermal energy straight through the floorboards into your boots. It was the ultimate open-air experience. Driving this truck was a full-body workout. The transmission was a 3-speed manual on the floor. First gear didn't have a synchronizer, which meant you had to come to a complete dead stop to put it into first, or else you would grind the gears so loudly the entire neighborhood would know you skipped driving school. Shifting gears in a '39 Ford was less of an agonistic mechanical process and more of an aggressive negotiation with a stubborn metal stick. And then there was the suspension. Henry Ford had an absolute obsession with transverse leaf springs. He loved transverse leaf springs the way modern internet influencers love iced matcha lattes. Instead of a normal coil spring setup, the truck had giant stiff metal bows holding up the axles. The ride quality could be best described as punishing. It rode like an angry mechanical bull. If you ran over a dime, you could tell if it was heads or tails. You felt every pebble, every crack, every minor geopolitical shift in the Earth's crust. But that stiffness was exactly why the truck was unbreakable. You could load the wooden bed with an absurd amount of weight, and the truck would just groan, squat a little, and keep on rolling. It was a true workhorse, built in an era when things were repaired with a wrench and a hammer, not a laptop and a software update. The legacy of the 1939 Ford pickup is actually a lot wilder than just being a farm vehicle. When guys came back from World War II, they looked at these old, cheap, pre-war trucks and said, "You know what this adorable farm implement needs? To go terrifyingly fast." The '39 Ford became a massive icon in the hot rod community. Because the fenders were so wide and the engine bay was so generous, it was incredibly easy to strip off the heavy bumpers, lower the suspension until it scraped the asphalt, and hop up that Flathead V8 with multiple carburetors and straight-pipe exhausts. It also became a favorite of moonshiners. Picture this truck painted matte black, sneaking through the backwoods of the Appalachian Mountains at 2 in the morning, loaded down with mason jars of illegal white lightning, outrunning local law enforcement. Wait, I promised I wouldn't say picture this. Let's just say, hypothetically, if you were a bootlegger in the 1940s, this truck was your dream getaway vehicle. It had the cargo space for your illicit beverages and the V8 torque to leave the sheriff choking in your dust. Today, finding a pristine, unmolested 1939 Ford pickup is like finding a unicorn that knows how to do your taxes. Most of them were driven into the ground on farms, rusted away in fields, or heavily modified by teenagers in the 1950s. When these trucks rolled off the dealership lot brand new, they cost around $600. Today, a beautifully restored or custom '39 Ford can easily sell at auction for $50, $60, or even $100,000. That's a return on investment that would make any Wall Street broker weep. We love the 1939 Ford pickup because it represents a beautiful contradiction. It was a blue-collar, dirt-under-the-fingernails work vehicle that was designed with the grace and elegance of a luxury coupe. It's a reminder of a time when you didn't need a computerized terrain management system to go off-road. You just needed a heavy right foot and a profound lack of fear. It reminds us that driving used to be an event, an engaging, noisy, bumpy, hot, and totally thrilling experience. So the next time you see a modern truck rolling down the highway, practically driving itself, while the owner gets a lower back massage and listens to satellite radio, just remember the mighty '39 Ford. It didn't have Wi-Fi, it didn't have cup holders, and it definitely didn't care about your comfort. But it looked fantastic, it sounded like thunder, and it helped build the modern world one bumpy, gear-grinding mile at a time. Thanks for hanging out with me today for this trip down automotive memory lane. Keep the shiny side up, keep your flatheads cool, and I'll see you in the next one.